Dow Jones index is on course for a 10th straight day of record highs. US markets opened up just over an hour ago. It is the longest such rally in years. Well, for more on all of this, let's go to CNN Money's Maggie Lake, who is at the New York Stock Exchange. Good to have you with us. Just explain for us the reason for such a record run.
It's a little bit of a combination of things, Linda. First of all, we have seen an improvement in both the economy and earnings. That is helping underpin some of what we're seeing. But a lot of this is based on the hope that the Trump administration is going to be able to push through some very business-friendly policies, including tax reform, and in that read tax cuts for businesses, spending on infrastructure, maybe reducing regulation burdens, especially on the financial sector. So when you put that all together, if he were able to get it through Congress, that would be an incredibly sort of powerful force for businesses. They really think it would help boost their bottom line and spark economic growth. So some of this is based on what's happening now, but an awful lot of it is on the hope that they're going to be able to get something done in D.C.
A lot of hope riding on this. And of course, Maggie, generally speaking, what goes up must come down. When we've looked at these sort of streaks in the past, what generally happens?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to compare because so many things are different. A lot of people are talking about the fact that if we close in record territory again, and by the way, it's looking a little difficult because we started up, but we've been sort of pairing those gains a little bit here in the morning. But if we close in record territory, it would be the 10th time we've done that in a row. You have to go back to all the way to 1987 to see that happen. And if you were lucky enough to be around in 1987, you may remember it was the best of times, but the worst of times, right? We had a really powerful rally that matched this winning streak, but then we also had a really painful, sell-off in the market that a lot of people remember as well. Is that going to happen this time? There's absolutely no indication. Again, very different forces driving this market, but you do want to be a little bit cautious. This has been a very rapid and one-way rally, and a lot of it, as we mentioned, based on hope. Can it go backward? Can we see some of these gains evaporate? Of course we can, and that's why you always sort of have to look at your portfolio and when you may need this money to determine how risky you want to be. So not necessarily repeat of history, but certainly a lot of caution underneath some of these record closes we're seeing, Linda.
And what sort of industries and stocks are doing best today?
Oh, well, as I just mentioned, we are certainly, throughout this entire rally watching very much financials. They have been driving it when you look at maybe the prospects of what's going to happen coming from the White House. We've seen energy coming back into a leadership role. But when you look at the earnings and economy story we talked about before, you are seeing some of the powerhouse names in technology also helping lend support. We've been talking about the fact that Apple's been hitting its record closes recently. So it's a little bit spread out. Again, some of it based on the earnings we're seeing and some of it based on the potential benefit that may come from D.C. But that's where the leadership's been.
All right, Maggie Lake, lots of hope there. We'll see how it pans out the rest of the day. Thanks so much.
Sure thing.